Tell me when. Hey guys! Wait, sorry, do I have to introduce myself? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put in all of this in.
Okay, cool. Well then!
This is Beijing, entrepreneur, founder of the organization called It's Our Turn, and all-around ball of energy. I shadowed her for the past week, attending the different events and initiatives for her organization called It's Our Turn, or as it's affectionately referred to, IOT, so that I could get some insight into what it really means to create your spiral effect.
So, I'm about to tell you how all of this came about. It's gonna be exciting, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, great. So, back in when I was 10 years old, my mother told my sisters and I, girls, if you can figure God's will for your life, then you're living. I'm like, what? God, okay, so I guess I need to start praying for that. For 2 years straight, I prayed, God, what is the will for my life? God, what is your will for my life? God, what is your will for my life? I didn't care about shelter. I didn't care about food. I didn't care about friends. All I prayed was for God's will because I wanted to live. You know, as a 10-year-old, obviously we took things so literally. Finally, on October 22nd, 2007, I was 12 years old, and God told me in a still small voice, Beijing, I want you to lead the youth. What? What? Long story short, that happened. I brought my mom in the room. I was like, Mom, guess what? And she was like, what? It's like, God told me to lead the youth. She's like, no way, we're freaking out. I'm like, yeah, okay, what do I do with this? You know, and then finally I go, why don't I start an organization? And so, because in my head, you know, as a 12-year-old, I thought that was like the only thing I could have done, you know, in order to do that. And so we're thinking about a name. She came up with It's Our Time. And I said, I like that, but I got something better. It's Our Turn.
A major theme in the It's Our Turn organization is the act of creating your spiral effect. What this means is, every single person has the ability to leave their mark on this world, regardless of their age, gender, location, or any other thing that they may feel makes them insignificant. Their spiral effect is setting something in motion that creates a change so much bigger than the individual. One of the ways IOT empowers the youth to create their spiral effect is by educating them about injustices and equipping them to do something about it. I had the opportunity to witness this take place at an IOT monthly meeting where a few of the IOT club members watched a documentary about climate change, then wrote letters to the government of the Bahamas and the citizens of the Bahamas.
I went to Cuba in the summer, and because they use really old cars from the 1950s, a lot of exhaust comes from the cars. So when I was walking around, like I had to cover my nose because the exhaust was so strong, and a lot of people have to wear a mask. Or it was like, I felt like I could even get cancer because the scent was just really horrible. But that really showed me that climate change is an enormous problem that we have. Even in a small island like Cuba, it's a very problem that we need to tackle right now because who knows, in the near future, like you said, we will be impacted and we need to do something now. And even though we're a small, tiny little dot on the map, if we take initiative, maybe other countries, America might say, you know what, the Bahamas, the little dot on the map is doing something. Let's do something too.
That's exactly how I think. Love it.
No. It's scary. It is scary, but you know,
It's
we
reality.
Still can't,
so
exactly.
what we could do about it.
Yeah.
Joel had something to say.
Okay, like as she stated before, how they touched a little bit on it in social studies in primary school. I feel like if it wasn't for us watching this, some of this stuff I wouldn't know, and that'd be like something they should teach in school instead of
Agreed.
us having to go online and
Right?
look it up. That way, more children can know about it, and we can enforce our government and help them. Like she said, it'll help a little. If a little dot can do it,
Yeah.
anyone can do it. We have like we have connections with China. I feel like if we
right.
change,
Like your global mind.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're big enough to impact other countries and states around the world.
That's right. And guys, what is this little dot?
Bomb.
The beginning of the spiral. The beginning of the spiral.
Yeah.
The center point, the focal point, and let it grow. Great, so let's take this great discussion. I love it, I love it. Let's take some time now to fill out these letters. Ultimately, what we're gonna do is you're gonna give them back to us, and then we are going to take a photo of them and post it on social media so the world around us, which is our fellow Bahamians and friends, can see that you guys are into climate change in terms of wanting to eradicate it and you wanting it to be your turn to do something about it.
For some years, IOT was still trying to find its identity. We did plenty of events, some in Fox Hill, which was amazing. Valentine's Day is my birthday, and instead of receiving that day, I turned 19. I decided to give back, and so I partnered with the Sandy Lynn's Primary School in Fox Hill, and they had like 200 to 300 children, and we put on an amazing Valentine's Day event for them. It was so much fun, like so much fun. And we did the exact same thing for the children in Woods Alley community. And so we, did those things. We put on Sunday parties for the children at risk. We also put toys together. When I went on a mission trip to Kathmandu, Nepal, I brought those toys that my church donated to the organization IOT, and I sent them over there to the orphans in Nepal. So we did, a bunch of events like that, but still something was missing. Something was missing. I thought to myself, there's one summer after I came from Nepal in 2013, I was, came back and I was reflecting on my trip and journaling and whatnot and praying and meditating, and I said, something is missing. This cannot be what IOT does. And I was correct. I felt that anyone could go and do everything what IOT was already doing. I believe God has called me for something more in terms of development and rehabilitation. And relationship, not going into community and coming out, because ultimately I wanted to change the world, and so finally it happens. Okay, summer 2016 called hashtag summer 2 remember 2016. We had our gotta do it kickoff summer. We had our kickoff summer here in Nassau, Bahamas, because Nassau is our center point of our spiral effect, and spiral effect is our language for impact. And finally that summer we allowed everyone, all young people, to finally join the organization. That summer we put on 12 events, from fundraising to prayer walks to parties, just to kick off the summer. And we did 12 because 12 is a very memorable and significant number in IOT. Why? Yeah, I'll tell you. I was 12 when I started. Duh! Are you listening? Okay, so yeah, and that was amazing. So many young people became a part of the movement for young people to create a spiral effect. And from there on, the spiral just kept turning and turning and turning and turning, where we find ourselves on the radio speaking up about youth social issues that we go through. We have the IOT concept as a club in 6 high schools in Nassau, the Bahamas, and we just launched it this year. And so it is crazy, everything that God has been doing, how he's been moving, the people that he's brought in my life. Shout out to Naye Smith, the girl who's doing this documentary. Don't cut that out. That is very important. And so the journey has been incredible. I have learned so much. Like, I can't even explain to you how much I've learned. I was in my wilderness, you know, for 9 years, and finally God said, okay, you're ready. You learned everything you need to learn. Go.
Another instance of IOT creating their spiral effect was their hurricane relief efforts. The recent Hurricane Matthew devastated many Bahamians, and IOTers took to the streets to distribute goods to some of those affected.
Hey world, so I'm an IOT plugger, Brianne, and we're out here in South Beach area helping out families for Hurricane Matthew relief. And honestly, it's just been so overwhelming and inspiring, and I feel like while we're in the moment just handing out boxes and meeting the families, I can really say I feel like my life has changed, and it's so hard to put into words, but you know, God's presence is here and just overflowing, and it's just amazing. So I really want to encourage everyone to just come out and just join us in what we're doing.
IOT also took part in the We March campaign, which was a campaign started by activists in the Bahamas to voice their opinions about the injustices they were facing at the hands of the government. Those participating marched from Arawak Cay to Rawson Square, where they held a peaceful protest.
Hey guys, this is Isa Beijing. We're out here during the We March, Black Friday March, and look at the people. The people are here because they are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm here on behalf of the young people, you know, because we are the future of this company, of this country. We are the future of this company. So if we don't show interest, why in the world will they show interest for us? How can we be silent? We can't, because we want a better Bahamas, and that takes coming out of our beds, coming out of our couches, and coming out to join the people, together. No matter the race, no matter the gender, no matter the class system, we're all here together as one Bahamas. Accountability, transparency, and fighting for the injustices of society.
And I'd like to say hi to all my friends. Don't feel jealous, okay? Bye!
It's our turn, and not because it's the name of my organization, but because it is our turn.